Okay, sorry. Let's try to model this this wing. So the main thing is, if you look at my diagram, I need to start with 3 edge loops. So I'll have to get my main body ready for this. Depending on how you model that body, you might need to adjust it in different ways. So the main issue is to have 3 faces next to each other that are roughly in the middle of the body. So let's take a look at this. Somehow I have 3 here, but they're a bit big. So I'll add an edge loop here. Oops, I don't want to add an edge loop completely until the end because there's enough in my tail there. So I will do a finer subdivision. I will select all parallel edges here, subdivide, and here I'll end this edge loop here. Enter. Now here I have 2 triangles, they're not necessary, so I'll select both these faces, press F, and it makes a quad. That's not completely necessary, but just to show. So these might be good candidates to begin my wing. Now going back to the side view, well, my top view will be my main view here because this is where my whole mesh diagram is set up. So I'll scale this, sort of move it for it to fit roughly. Scale in X allows it to flatten it. It'll make it easier if it's flat. Going into vertex mode and see-through, I'll align these things. I can align my vertices so that I can afterwards act as if there was only one, but I'll have to make sure that I always select the two that are on top of each other. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like on the side. So it's a bit big. These are my 3 things. It's a bit big compared to what I have here, so I'll scale it just a little bit, but don't want to make it too thin. Don't need to follow this religiously because it's not perfect. Also, this might have scrapped my nice spherical thing, but once I finish my my wing, I might go back to this and fix it. So I'm gonna start following my my pattern here. Notice that I've put some edge loops in gray. This means that you should probably do this at the end. It's easier to do the big general shape first and then subdivide it. So extrude, and the steps are to select these polygons, these vertices, sorry, and put them at the right place. Alright, that wasn't too hard. So we have the beginning yet. And for the moment we'll just worry about what it looks like at the top. As long as I have a depth here, again, sometimes take a look under to see if I haven't scrapped things under there. But the top view is my most important one. You see that I can't follow the curve here because I don't have that edge loop right now. But I can do that now if I want to. But I suggest you might do this at the end. If it's easier for you to do it now, why not? Okay, see? Doesn't look bad. Okay, let's continue. So I'm going to select the faces that are at the end there. Might seem a bit hard to understand, but this is what I'm selecting. Going back to the top view, I extrude these 3 at the same time so that they can remain attached. Then I do my little dance of moving these vertices like this. Here I can use this to do that extrusion there to finish this kind of bone there. Alright, now continuing, I'm going to ignore the gray edge loop and extrude up to the next bone. So it doesn't look anything like what I should be having, but I'm going to fix this all by moving this here, moving this, where should I be moving this? Here, I guess, yeah, moving this here, and moving this here. Once again, later I might come back in, I'll go back here to add another edge loop. But first I want to get the general shape done. Okay, selecting these faces, I do a small extrude to cover the end of the bone. Here I can fix that. Then I can extrude that here to follow once again. Okay, let's take a look. Looks good. So my pattern here is very useful, my template. So once again, I'm going to go up to the next bone, but this time I'm not going to, well actually I could, I'm going to follow through with this one as well. Okay, extrude just to get the edge loops I need. And then I'm going to move them around. Actually no, I shouldn't have done that. You see, because now I can't reproduce that shape properly. So I'll go back in time before the extrusion, and I'm actually going to extrude only these ones because in fact it remains tied here. So I'll have to do some modeling magic there. So I'm extruding this. I do my little vertex move dance, once again ignoring the gray line. But what's happening here is that in fact this should be tied to this. It's splitting as a fan from there. So what I'll do is I'm going to merge these vertices together. Vertex, shift select the other one, W, merge, Alt M, and at last, meaning that it merges and remains at the position of the last, whoops, wrong one. It means at the position of the last one that was selected. Okay, so this looks like it. Now I can select those three faces together and extrude all at once to have the general shape of the bone. Okay, now I have also the right thing to do that here. Same step here, I'm gonna only extrude those two faces. Move this one here, move this one there, and this one I'm gonna do exactly what I did over there. I'm gonna collapse them together. Vertex, shift, vertex, W, merge, at last. Shift. Oops. I can also use the finder, merge, at last. Alright, going back to top mode, and this time we're going to extrude the three because I need one here, one here, one here. Pop. Moving vertices around. Oops, I can extrude that face. Okay, and I'm gonna do this whole thing one last time, selecting that face here. Oops, not this one. Oops, hard time selecting this one. Oh. Here I am. Extrude, move the vertices, ignore the gray edge loop, and these I'm gonna collapse or merge. Remember, it's Alt M at last. Alt M at last. Okay, and here this last bone I will do with only these two because you see there's no more subdivision here. So I'm gonna extrude like this, move them around. That's fine. And here I'm gonna once again do that same thing. Can I merge these two? Yes. Alright. This is going well. I can extrude that here. Need this face. Oh, crooked. Alright, now I'm gonna take care of this here. So it's a bit of a mess. What am I gonna do? You know what? I don't even need to follow this. I'll just take this. And maybe collapse this together. that work? No, that won't work. It's this one I need to collapse. Okay, and this is the face that I'm going to be using to do that. Alright, so we've got the general mesh. What's missing is maybe the finer subdivisions to do the wing curves. So I'm going to do that now. I added an edge loop there. Move the vertices, whoops, the vertices there. I'm going to add an edge loop here. With Control R, you see it doesn't go right up to the end. That's because you can't add an edge loop that ends up in a triangle. So I could leave it that way, but it will probably look better if there's a crease there, a kind of a fold. So I'm going to manually end this edge loop there and down there. I'm using K for the knife, enter to validate. Right, Control R to do that here. K. Oops. Enter. K. Enter. And finally here. K. Enter. K. Click. Click. Enter. Going back to top view, I'm going to use these new edge loops to do a small crease there. Oops. Alright, so my mesh is fine. Let's take a look at, oops, what does it look like with the subdivision. So that's pretty good. Now I can do finishing touches. Now it's all on the flat surface. I can maybe do a curve, or actually what I can do is thin, maybe do a little curve there in between the bones. So I can, should this go up or should this go down? Probably should go down. This is your artistic license right there. Right. Also, this is supposed to be a single bone, so you might want to make it straighter. This. Also, the ends, you might want to make them thinner. Also, it ends a little bit like a lump. One way to make it tighter here would be to add an edge loop there at the beginning of each of these bone ends. Control R. Right, now what I was doing is scaling these ends so that they finish a little tight. Oops. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Okay, that's all folks. Then I could go back here and fix maybe, well, this is not curved enough. So I could maybe add an edge loop here because it's a bit blocky. So I can select these things there, subdivide, finish that edge loop there. Oops. I want to make sure that I click on this edge. Right. Okay, so now that I have this edge loop, I can work with my curve. It's all about tweaking. Alright, let's save this. Modeling, winning, done.